All right, hello and welcome again. Eric Wilkes here alongside my wife, Amanda, and I don't know about you, but I know you didn't put much into this presentation, but we've got a lot to cover. I know I'm kind of the techie guy that takes care of everything. Someone has a black screen, so can you guys all see our screen okay? You should see it. Should say, welcome, thanks for coming on your screen, and have a picture of Amanda and I on it. If you can see it, just raise your hand real quick. Just let me know you can see us. You can see my screen. That's kind of important because I'm going to draw on it here in a little bit. Okay, Ronnie, you're good. Ronnie says you can see. So, Betty, I'm not sure. It might be, maybe it's something with your computer. I'm not sure there. Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Right on. Good. I'm glad it came through. Yeah, it looks like maybe it's kind of loading slow. So I see it says audience view is 86%. So there's 14% of you that can't see the screen yet for whatever reason. So I'll try to go slow, and we'll try to cruise through it a little slower, and allow the time for the screen to update itself. So that's it. Let's hop into it, because tonight, Man and I want to share with you what we believe is the best kept secret that's guaranteed to change the way you think about making money forever. I know a lot of you are probably new to internet marketing. Maybe it's your first time. Maybe you've tried other programs or other things out there to make extra money. But I think I'm a firm believer in what we've discovered. If you do it right, it will literally change your mindset and change the way you think about making money. And we're going to talk about this in a little bit more detail. But before we get into that, I want to open this up with, who are we? Who's Amanda? Who's Eric? And what are we about? Where do we come from? What have we been through? Where are we going? And why are you all here tonight? So that said, I'm going to flip it over to my wife. She loves to talk, so I know she's sitting there chomping at the bit. So I'm going to turn it over to Amanda and just let her share where she came from, what she's been through, and then I'm going to do the same. And then we're going to talk about how we met and what led to our partnership, and ultimately, now we're husband and wife. So that said, honey, if you can keep it at 1 to 2 minutes,
Okay.
that'd be
That's a challenge.
fabulous.
Okay, 1 to 2 minutes. I'm going to try my best. Like Eric said, he introduced me before. My name is Amanda Wilkes. I have to get used to saying that because that is my new last name as of just over 2 months ago. And I have been in the online marketing industry, gosh, for about probably 2.5 years at this point. I think it was, I don't remember exactly. I just remember it being the end of a year, a couple years ago, around Christmas time. Or Thanksgiving time, I was looking online. I thought there had to be some money, a way to make money online, basically. Ended up coming across a Facebook training, purchased a Facebook training, and that was kind of getting me into the internet marketing industry, and it kind of opened my eyes to a whole nother world that maybe I didn't even realize existed. I knew you could, make money online per se, or I know people advertised online, but I didn't really know what all of that meant. So I basically purchased my first Facebook marketing product. Kind of led me down a path of a spending spree, if you will. I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of time listening to different trainings and trying different things. But I found myself kind of jumping all over the place, going from one thing to the next thing. Just when I got settled in one thing, then, it was the shiny object syndrome, that I'd go on to the next, what it seemed to be the next greatest thing. Found myself about $20,000 in the hole on different training systems. I went to a couple pretty expensive big events, but at the same time understanding that those were all investments in my future. And so it was, I spent a good year probably being really lost and not knowing what was going on, and like I said, not dedicating any time to anything. And then once I started focusing on something and I picked one thing and said, I'm going to focus on this, that's when I actually found some success. You know, I made some of my first money online and kind of was able to put together some of the puzzle pieces. You know, I'm still learning stuff today, and my husband still teaches me stuff every day. But and I know that's one thing we'll kind of talk about tonight is picking that one thing and rolling with it. And that's really what brought me success. And I think Eric could probably say the same thing. So that's probably longer than 2 minutes.
No, and that's okay. But what I want to add to that is, you were the premium example of what keeps most of these companies in business, and myself included, and I'll talk about that in a second. But people get caught in that endless trap of buying this success system or that success system, the shiny object syndrome, as you described it. And that's a classic example of what keeps most of these companies in business, because at the end of the day, we're not really selling anything other than, we're selling the dream. We're selling, the very idea of being able to not ever have to worry about money. The very idea of, hey, you can buy this system and it's going to make you successful and you're not going to have to do anything. You're going to be able to walk away from that and the money is going to continue to come in. Well, that may be true for the system owners or people that understand what they're doing, but if you're just getting started in this industry, you have to work hard. You have to bust your ass and you have to really put your mind to it, and it is the most difficult thing you'll probably ever do in your life. But at the end of the day, that hard work, when it pays off, it becomes it's much easier to keep your business going than it is to get it going. And I don't want to say the grass is greener on the other side, because to get to the other side, you've got to go through a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. You've got to climb numerous mountains, and and at the end of the day, that's why very few people ever become successful, because they get caught into that trap of buying product after product after product, training system after training system, and they're buying what you're actually buying when you do that is you're buying the hype and you're buying the hope of, I can buy this and I can learn from it and I can do a little bit of work and out pops the money, and that's just not the reality. And I come from the same background. I was an engineer coming right out of college, and the best job offer I got was for $38,000 a year after I just spent $50,000 on my education. And I just couldn't believe it. I was blown away. So ultimately for me, it led me to a sales job. I was a sales engineer, for the lack of a better term. It was really, it was a fancy word for telemarketer, because at the end of the day, that's what I was. I was a telemarketer. I was, they gave me an internet connection and a telephone and said, go make sales. You've got 3 months to do it. And after 3 months, if you don't meet your quotas, we're going to fire you. And so it was pretty much put up or shut up. And what I learned in that, I learned to overcome the fear of rejection, because the pressure of having a quota to meet every month, much less, I outpaced most of the other sales guys that were new, just because I had the technology background and I sold hardware and software for a living. I did that for about 8 months. And during that time, about 6 months into it, I'm like, man, if I can do that here, why in the heck can't I do that for myself? So slowly but surely, I started calling local clients. We live in Phoenix, Arizona, and I would sell them the hardware and software, and I would say, look, if you need someone to come install it, instead of paying our company $150 an hour, how about I charge you, $100 an hour? And I started this little consulting business on the side, and got out of a job, got into internet marketing, started looking at that, got started with that just because, I understood the idea of leverage. I realized that as one person, there's only so many hours in a day and so many hours in a week that I could possibly work. And so my income was limited by my time. And I didn't necessarily like that. So that's what led me to the internet. I fired my boss, walked out of my job after 8 months, haven't looked back since. I've been full-time in this industry specifically for 5 years now, and it's just been a lot of fun. It's had its ups and downs, but I'll tell you, it's a whole lot better than working for the man. That's for sure. So tonight, we kind of hope to share with you you know, what you can do and how you can leverage our mistakes and what you can do to position yourself and get going the right way. And all of this has ultimately led me to, you know, meeting Amanda. We actually met at a marketing conference January of 2013. Long story short, I think it was love at first sight while we were there. I think you'd probably agree with that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, the hard part was she lived in Wisconsin at the time and I lived in Arizona, but we made it work. And fortunately, I was in a position having an online business that summer. I was actually able to go to Wisconsin for pretty much the entire summer and ended up bringing her to Arizona. So I'd say it worked out. But yeah, she said earlier, you know, we just got married back in May. And, you know, it's been a fun ride. It's been a fun, you know, it's hard to believe that I've known you for, it'll be 2 years already in January. I mean, it's been a year and a half already. It's just nuts. But when you know, right?
Yeah.
So we're excited. We just like to give a little bit of background so you know who you're dealing with and know who you're working with. And as we go through the rest of this, I'm going to kind of, you know, I got a lot to talk about, but I'm going to kind of pause and I'm going to ask Amanda questions and kind of keep this almost like an interview style. I think it flows a lot better. Personally, and I know I'm sure at least most of you would agree, I hate PowerPoint. I hate slide presentations. Anyone can review slides and read from a slide. So we're going to try to give you a lot of real-world examples and try to give you something that's very solid and very foundational to go off of, so that we're not just boring you to death with slide presentations. So. Hopefully that makes sense, and let's dive into it because I want to try to respect your time and keep this as close to an hour as possible. So we want to go into the dashing little known secrets to growing a profitable online business so you flourish while others suck pond water. You know, kind of a funny getting started point to this, but you know, the whole point is most people never figure out how to build a profitable business, and it's really hard as a new business owner to sometimes communicate with people like, look, you're going to have to, every business has overhead, so you're going to have to invest money to try to make money. And the reality is most people just don't know how to do that, or they've been scammed, or they've been suckered into some other sort of scheme before, and all you've ever done is lose money, lose money, lose money, lose money, lose money, lose money. Well, we want to correct that. We want to fix that. We want to put that into an exact formula behind how Amanda and I have literally been able to grow a huge business in an extremely short amount of time. In just a moment, I'm going to share with you how we literally started a business about 45 days ago. Actually started a little longer than that, but we were traveling all summer, so we didn't even get real serious about it until July. It was right after the 4th of July that we got really serious about it. And we're just going to kind of show some of our results that we've been able to accomplish in the last 45 days from scratch. Now, some of you might think, oh, you know, he's been in the industry 5 years. He knows what he's doing. He's probably got an email list that's already going. Yeah, you're right. But I told Amanda that, you know, we met in the industry. We met in the internet marketing industry. So it made sense. And I told her that, you know, if we're going to do something, we're going to start it from scratch. And we're not going to even come close to touching any previous contacts. We're not going to do any of that stuff. We're going to start it literally from ground zero and build it from the top, or from the bottom up, from the bottom to the top. And so that's why I'm excited that you're here today, so you can see what it really takes to grow a business without all the BS, without all the hype. You know, I think what you'll learn about myself, Amanda too, is we're extremely transparent. There's no need in today's marketplace. If I wanted to scam people, I'd dress up like a bum and go stand on the street corner with a sign that says anything helps, you know, or homeless, need food, and I'd scam people out of money. But, you know, in today's marketplace, I think it's all about being transparent, being real, and being honest. So in today's eye-opening presentation, we're going to share why you've been lied to, where to really cast your net to get the money fish swimming in front of your face that you probably don't even know about. Case studies on how we've literally dominated the web for any company we go into, and more importantly, how you can copy us exactly. And that really, to me, is the best part of this entire webinar, because it's huge. You can't put a price on that. You can't. It's impossible. The amazing underground traffic and lead sources that will build you a monster business if you'll use them correctly. You know, a lot of times people try to go spend money, but they go spend it on the wrong things, or they spend their time and waste their time doing the wrong things at the wrong time. And we want to put a stop to that. We want you to actually be profitable right up front. The quickest way that we've found to find the most targeted leads who are motivated, hungry buyers that are literally salivating at the mouth with their credit card in hand, just begging to buy your stuff. And this isn't a joke. And most of the times they'll buy it before you ever even talk to them. You know, we rarely talk to our leads, right? They've made some sort of purchase, spent some amount of money before, and Amanda's usually the one that calls them. So, you know, that right there is tremendous. And let me just ask you a question, Amanda, because you're the one that's calling most of these new buyers and connecting with them. What's it like? What are the people like when you call them? What are they like when you connect with them and you communicate with them? And
I would say the biggest thing is that people are excited. They're excited to hear from me, or just excited to hear from someone. You know, we work with kind of varying experience levels. We work with a lot of people that are maybe new to the industry, or maybe that have had a little bit of exposure, but you know, have felt lost or kind of left in the dark, or that sort of thing. So I would say that's kind of the biggest thing that I see, is people are just excited that they have some sort of interaction and that they're communicating with someone, and happy to know that we're here and available, and you know, we're their coach, and for questions and that sort of thing. So I think that's, I mean, you guys can tell me too. I mean, is that something that is important to you? It's just to know that that your coach is available to you, or just that you have someone there. I mean, I think that was a lot of my frustration too at one point. I felt so alone.
Right.
And that I had no one, and I had no one to ask questions to, you know, and you think that your questions are stupid, which, let me tell you, no question is dumb or stupid, because even though you might think it is, it's not. Trust me, I probably asked it, and I probably still ask Eric some of those questions today. So you should never feel like you have a silly question. But I guess that's...
No, I mean, and you're spot on, and you know, I've talked to quite a few of them too, and you know, we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but you know, they become, you know, like friends, and they almost become like family, because they really are excited, they're motivated, you both have a vested interest in the relationship. And what I've seen over the past, well, really since I got in this industry, is because the internet has really just evolved, and it keeps evolving. It's made people, I don't want to say lazy. It's not the right word, but it's given them false hope, and it's given them a false perception, because you know, it looks like you can just sign up and you can pay money, and magically you can put $1 in the pop machine and it's going to give you $2 back. Mm-hmm. You can put $1 in the candy machine and it's going to give you $2 back. And it's just, it sucks, because it's not as easy as it may seem. The perception is it looks easy, and you know, yeah, Amanda or myself, we might be able to make it look easy, but it's really not. The cool part though is it's probably the simplest business that you could ever be involved in. Would you agree with that, Amanda?
I do. I agree.
I mean, it's a very simple business. We're actually going to explain it, you know, as we go through here, but we're just I mean, when you get right down to it and we dive into this stuff, hopefully you kind of learn something. If nothing else, you know, maybe you walk away with one golden nugget, and it'll make the whole hour you spend with us worth it. So 45 days later, we're in the top 5 money earners list, and we literally built this on an extreme part-time basis. We haven't even really devoted full time Our username right there is spend less, earn more. Again, you know, the whole theme, how to build a profitable business, not a broken one, not a not profitable one, how to build a profitable business. And we did this on a part-time basis, and you can just see right there, I took a screenshot of our commissions, $5,600 the last 45 days. Again, not a lot of money, but, you know, how much time would you say that you put into this? Maybe an hour a day or less? And I put in maybe an hour a day or less. You know, I mean, I don't know what $5,600 extra dollars would do for you and your family working, you know, a combined 2 hours a day. That's 10 hours a week. You know, let's just say 2 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's 14 hours a week. It's still less than a part-time job at the end of the day. And we made an extra $5,600. Now, we're not showing you this to impress you. It's to impress upon you and just show that, hey, we're real. We're not trying to hype this up. We're not trying to say, oh, we make, you know, $150,000 a year with this one program. You know, we're not trying to give you any sort of false hope or false perception. For some of you, you're probably more successful than this, and you're probably going, oh yeah, $5,600, big deal. Like that, you know, I make more than that at my job. And some of you that might be, but, you know, again, the beautiful thing about the internet is you can do multiple things in multiple streams, and I can show you multiple streams of income. In fact, I can show you 2 other companies that I've been a #1 earner in, and this is going to be the 3rd one by the time we're all said and done with it. So we've just got some other projects that we've got to get off our plate to be able to move more full steam ahead with this. So we're excited. I mean, just what I've seen, and again, we're going to dive into this and why we're excited about this particular vehicle that we chose, because for me personally, in my 5-year career, it's been the only thing I've ever been able to make a profit on in the first, right up front. And we're going to talk more about that later. So let's dive into, you know, why you've been lied to. You've probably been part of a program where your upline told you to harass strangers. The 3-foot rule, talk to everybody that comes within 3 feet of you, go to the mall, hand out flyers and business cards, drive all over town, go to every networking event that you could possibly go to. They tell you to call Uncle Bob or Aunt Sue or talk to your mom and dad or your brother or sister or all your best friends. And then they go on to tell you to buy some leads. And these are usually the worst quality, broke, and oftentimes depressed leads, and you're often paying $3 to $5 per lead for them, not to mention the competition you have, because that lead was also sold to John Doe and Mary Sue for the same $3 to $5, and so now you got 3 people calling the same lead. It's freaking frustrating, and I'm speaking from a place of experience because I've been there. I've done that. In fact, I personally, I racked up more than $60,000 in credit card debt doing exactly that, because that's what my upline told me to do. And when it all doesn't work, they tell you to keep doing it. And that, I think, for me was the most frustrating part. Is here I racked up in a 2-year time period $60,000 in debt, buying leads, calling leads, and doing everything that I was told to do, but I wasn't making any money. I wasn't profitable. The exact definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It wasn't happening, and I couldn't figure out why. Was it me? Was it something I said? Was it how I said it? Was it the program I was involved with? What was it? There were just too many variables to be able to tell, and that ultimately is why I got involved in internet marketing, because you can track everything, you can control everything, and you can get a result right away that is measurable without all of the variables involved, right? And this is where most people, for me, the last 2.5 years now, I've made a living as a consultant, just giving advice to people that are in your shoes. And I'm able to charge a very hefty price to be able to do that. You know, we've consulted with people who've made millions of dollars. They're in this same boat. What the #1 thing they struggle with, and it's an endless struggle, is how to find good quality leads for their business. And most people, most business owners, never break out of this terrible position. The number one thing is leads, right? If you have a business but you don't have leads, guess what? Do you really have a business? Do you?
No.
Not at all,
Not
right?
at all.
You don't. If you don't have leads, you don't have a business. You gotta have people to sell to,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I've been able to make a living, because for me, I know how to get leads. I know how to find leads. I know how to do marketing, and we're gonna teach that to you tonight, at least a little bit, and hopefully you learn something from it. So let me give you another real world example of how this works and show you some of the goods. This is our lead company. We manage. We use a company called AWeber. And they just basically they house our data. They house all of our data for us, and this is where we are able to communicate with our leads on a very, very regular basis. And as you can see right there, right at the top, just again, so you know that we're not BSing you. We're not trying to hype you up. I want you to see real world tangible results. Since July the 7th, so just 30 days ago, 1 month ago from today, we have added, and you see right there, date added is on 7/7/2014. We have added over 1,100 leads to our list. That 1,100 leads has brought us more than $5,000 in commissions. So if you do the math on that, that means we're earning an average of $4 per lead that we generate. So going back to that, and I'm gonna give you a better example of this. I'm gonna draw for you here in just a second. But going back to that pop machine example, right? If I can put $1 in and get $2 out, what happens, right? I've made a profit. So if I can put $1 or $2 in, guess what? I'm getting $4 back. We're more than doubling and sometimes tripling our investment. Do you see why I'm excited? And we're just getting started with this. So that is what has got me excited, is for the first time in my career, I found an offer. A lot of times people try to sell stuff. And the very basic, we're not here to sell you anything. We're not here to sell you anything. And I'm going to get my drawing pin out here. I love to draw stuff. So I'm a horrible artist, but we're gonna have some fun with this. So let me first, this is the marketing wheel and sales funnel formula, but I want to explain a very clear difference between sales and marketing. So this is an ocean, right? And you've got, let's call it a river. So it's a very, very wavy, very, very wavy river, and here's a little dinghy right here, and there's a little guy inside the dinghy, right? And he's waving for help. He's there's a guy out here. Let's do this. This guy out here, he's in the water. He's floating. He's just barely keeping his head above water, and he's drowning, right? And this guy here, he's a salesman, right? He's not a marketer. He's a salesman. And as he's floating down and he sees the drowning guy, he's got a great big yellow lifesaver raft, right? It's yellow. And he's getting ready to float past the guy that's drowning, and he's getting ready to throw him the lifesaver raft. But the guy over here that's drowning, he notices it's yellow, and he says, I don't want a yellow lifesaver raft, I want a blue one. Well, what does a salesman do? He says, oh, but this is a yellow lifesaver raft. It's the best raft you can get. It's yellow. It's great. You just need to let me throw it to you. He's trying to convince this guy here that's drowning, hey, you need my yellow lifesaver raft. Why would you do that? You know what a marketer would do? Same scenario. Someone who's in marketing. He's floating by. Same yellow lifesaver raft. He's floating by the guy that's drowning, and the guy that's drowning says, oh, well, I want a blue one. You know what a marketer does? He goes, okay. It's a terrible drawing of a hand. He just waves and he sails on by. He says, "Oh, well, I only have a yellow one. Good luck. I'm moving on." Right? He's not trying to sell him anything. It's the very basic concept and the difference between sales and marketing. Salesmen convince people of why they need stuff. Marketers don't have to convince anyone of anything. All they're trying to do is match what that person is looking for. And if they can do that and it's a match, great. That's all we're doing here. Too often do I see people try to convince people of their offer. You don't have to do that. Just move on. You're better off finding people who are a match for your offer because they're going to last. They're going to last longer. They're going to be worth more money in your pocketbook, and you're going to develop great friendships from those people. I apologize. I got to stop and take a drink here for a second. And when I say drink, I mean Jack and Coke. Amanda and I are having a little drink as we celebrate this and put this together for you tonight because we haven't had time to eat dinner yet.
Nope.
It's funny. I text my buddy Ty, who we're going to be great friends over the long term. But you know, one thing about being in business with your wife, as I was just joking with Ty, is there's no one left to cook dinner. So we've been working so hard on this stuff. We literally didn't have time to eat dinner. So we're going out to dinner tonight as soon as we leave here. So. You know, the marketing wheel and sales funnel formula. So hopefully you understand that you got to have leads to generate sales. But before that, in internet land or in the internet world, you got to have one more piece to that puzzle. You got to have traffic to be able to get leads. And then leads will lead to sales. And I want to give you a very basic concept here, and I'm going to go kind of fast because I don't think we're even halfway through yet, and it's already 25 minutes to the top of the hour. So we've already been here for 32 minutes and 7 seconds. So the marketing wheel, right? This is going to be my hub right here in the center. And let's say that you're really, really, really good at getting traffic. And let's say that you're mediocre at converting that traffic to leads. Let's say you're terrible at getting sales. Let's say that you're kind of somewhere in between there with talking to people on the phone. You know, maybe you're not comfortable talking to people on the phone. You're okay with shooting videos, but you're not great yet. You're okay with technology, but you're not great yet. Do you see how crooked my wheel looks? You can't even make this work, right? It doesn't even really resemble any sort of a wheel at all, right? Maybe some of you have seen this before. Do you think that this wheel can roll forward in a smooth fashion that works, right? Just raise your hand if you're with me. Do you think that wheel can roll smoothly? Raise your hand if you think it's going to be a rough ride. Exactly. Same here, right? But so here's my point. The point to this marketing wheel is you're honestly better off being brand new and being terrible at all of them, and then expanding each one of them together cohesively. That's supposed to be perfectly round, but it's not. You're better off being mediocre at all of them because at least you've got something that can move forward together cohesively, and it's going to roll, right? When you put all those pieces together, if it's bad and it's all bad, I'll be honest, I've seen people have really good success that it's just terrible. I've got a guy right now, a good friend of mine. He's probably doing $1 million+ a month. And I know he's doing $1 million+ a month. And It is so sloppy, but it's so sloppy in every single one of these areas that it's driving massive success. And I'm blown away by that. It's the most disorganized, sloppy thing I've ever seen in my life, but it works because he's horrible at everything, right? So you don't have to be the smartest person in the world. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to even really be organized. You know, the whole concept of this industry, what I always say, and you've probably heard this before, I forget the author's name that actually said it, but in this industry, in any industry or any business, it's fire, shoot, then aim, right? So the idea is just shoot, and you're going to miss the target 1,000 times. And who cares? And then you get that one time that you hit the bullseye, right? Just kind of like an arrow. And when you hit the bullseye, guess what happens? You just laser target all of your efforts towards it now. So it's better to just aim and miss and keep missing, because eventually, sooner or later, you're going to hit the bullseye. And when you hit it, and it's a metaphor for when you put the pieces of the puzzle together to make this wheel over here roll forward cohesively and as a unit, your life will change forever. Your business will change forever. Right? So let's move on here. Let me clear this off. Pen, erase. So let's talk about this whole traffic, leads, and sales thing again, because the very basic concept of having an internet business, it really only revolves around these three things. So most people understand you have to have a website, right? So we're just going to call this, you're usually going to have some sort of headline. Maybe you have like a video here with a play button, you know, something like this. And then you have enter your email here. And then you have like a button down here at the end. That's a continue button, right? So how many of you, just by a quick show of hands, now how many of you understand that you have to have a website, you know, if you're going to have an internet business, right? It's pretty common sense. Awesome. Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Ronnie. Appreciate you guys. You guys are paying attention. Maybe we're boring everyone else to death.
Honey, can I just throw in here?
Yeah, absolutely.
When he says that you need a website to run your business online, I want you guys to understand, because I feel like this is something that I had a misconception of at one point, and I feel like a lot of people I talk to have a misconception of. When you say you have to have a website, it doesn't mean this big, fancy, like, lots of pages, you know, pretty looking thing. I mean, when he's talking website, which Eric is so nicely illustrated here, which he'll get into more, you know, we're just talking, this is about a lead capture page is what this is called as well. And that's as simple as it gets. You don't need this big, fancy, you know, blog or something with your name on it. It's something as simple as, you know, what Elite Marketing Pro offers to you and what they provide you. So sorry, I just want to throw that in there.
And you know, I'm gonna go out and say that, you know, I wrote the word ugly up there, and I know because I've sent literally probably over the last 5 years, you're probably well into the millions of visitors to a website, and I have tested pretty websites. I've tested beautiful, graphically designed websites and had this pro stuff done and all this professional work and all this crap. And you know what always happens every single time? I come right back to this ugly looking website. And I hate to say it, but this is the only industry where the uglier, the better. Because why? Because it seems natural and it seems real and it seems simple. That's really the whole point. You want to make it simple. And these websites, typically, they're given to you by your company. Whatever program or system that you're a part of, they're given to you. You know, don't go out and waste a bunch of money buying a domain name and doing hosting yet, especially if you're getting started. Now, as you evolve and as you grow, of course, you're going to eventually want your own, again, ugly website, as I call it. You know, nothing pretty. The prettier that it is, the worse it will perform. I promise you, I've tested millions of visitors over the last 5 years. I've tested a couple of 100,000 in the last 6 months or so, testing new different things. And with what we're going to share with you tonight with the Lead Marketing Pro, goodness, I was just looking at it earlier. It's probably been, I don't know, around 10 or 15,000 just in the last 45 days. And you know, that's nothing compared to what we're getting ready to do with it. So don't get lost in that. Getting back to the sales funnel formula, traffic, leads, and sales, most people get hung up right here. They don't really get hung up because, you know, most of you, this is given to you by your company, your program, your system, what have you. But, you know, that's great. But if you don't have people to visit it, if you don't have traffic, if you don't have, you know, you can interchange traffic with website visitors. So traffic / visitors. You got to have people that find your website. You got to get this over to this. And what I've done the last year and a half, this is where people get hung up. They get stuck right here. And that's why people get caught in the trap of buying product after product, training after training, system after system, this or that, because they don't know how to get the traffic or the visitors. Why? Because most cases, the fastest way to do it, there's two schools of thought when it comes to traffic. Number one is pay for it. You can pay for it. Now, you can do paid traffic, meaning you can pay to send a visitor to your website. This is my favorite method by far because it's faster, because if you're paying for it, you're getting results instantly that are measurable, they're trackable, and you're going to be able to analyze your return on your investment right away, right? The second way is free. And free traffic methods, they take time. You're going to put some time into it. You're going to have to invest time. You're going to have to, you know, a lot of guys do YouTube marketing. You know, they do YouTube videos. And they work great. Don't get me wrong. They work phenomenally well. I've personally done it. I know, Amanda, you've done some YouTube marketing as well. It works great. But at the end of the day, that time has some sort of monetary value on it. So that time is still worth money, right? Follow me? So free is not really free at the end of the day. And that's why I prefer these paid methods because they're faster. You're not going to delay the process. It's just one of those things where you just have to evaluate what your time is worth. Now, I understand if you're like me, when I got started, I had no money to invest. I literally had no budget. I had nothing left. I was tapped out. I spent 60 grand on credit cards, and I was broken, depleted, deflated. My car was even up for repossession at the time, and I mean, I had no more money to invest into my business. So I was forced into this method right here, number 2, the free method. I had no other choice. And I literally would smile and dial for hours. And what I figured out, when I say smile and dial, I started calling leads. I started calling people who were in competitive companies. So I used, I dubbed it the reverse Google technique. I was able to pull up all of the websites, all of the replicated websites of competing companies. And those replicated websites all had a name, a phone number, and usually an email address. Not so much today because of spam and everything else, but back then I could get a rep or an affiliate's name and phone number, and I'd just start calling people. And guess what? It worked like gangbusters for me. I had so much fun with that once I figured that piece of it out, and then later tied the online piece to it, and it just made it all the more worthwhile. So, you know, that's the formula right there, and you're going to have leads, and then right here Once they go into a lead, they're going to go into, I'm just going to label this AR for autoresponder, or this is the like the Aweber thing that I just showed you, where they're sending out marketing messages, and then out pops the sale, or this over here is the money. Most people, this part's easy. All of this stuff is easy. That can all be set up for you automatically. Most people do that for you. We take care of it for you. But right here, this traffic and visitors, #1 seller. I've been paid. I've got clients that pay, north of, $20,000. The best client we've had so far paid us $38,000 just to consult with them and help him with his sales funnel. So we helped him with the ugly website, and we helped him get traffic. The cool part was the guy called us 6 months later, and he's like, hey, I quit my job. We're like, really? He's like, yeah, I am making way more money I am now online because of what you guys did for me than I ever made in my job. And I'm still to this day, I'm blown away by that. That's what you set people up for. That's what you expect. But most people just quit. They quit right before they're about to pop. And I see it all of the time. They just, they're spending money, they're not making money. You get frustrated and you give up. You quit. You give up on your dream. And too often do I see people give up too easily. So what we want to do is we want to take care of this for you, and we want to take care of this whole thing. That's essentially what we want to do. We want to take care of all of it at the end of the day. And that's why we're excited you're here tonight. We're going to share an opportunity with you that we took part in with Elite Marketing Pro. You saw some screenshots earlier that has me personally more excited than I've ever been in my life about anything. And I'm usually not very easily excited. I take everything with a grain of salt. But when I saw the results that we've seen so far with this, I've literally been blown away. So how do we find laser-targeted leads so fast? Again, you heard me say it's the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life, but it's the simplest business that you'll ever be a part of. So how do we find these leads? It's very simple. We advertise over the top of other online marketing systems, business opportunities, make money online offers, and a gazillion of other offers out there that are claiming to help people make money. Yes, it really is that simple. So the reality is, most of those are just junk programs and schemes that often leave people deflated, battered, broken, and sometimes depleted of their hard-earned cash. And I'm speaking from personal experience again. And that's what's sad. Because at the end of the day, those people, myself, Amanda, yourself included, and we want to catch them before they get screwed. I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times. I've seen people spend tens of thousands of dollars and never make a profit. Well, if you're spending that kind of money, that should give you an answer, right? That should tell you this isn't working. Let's go do something else. And you just keep going. You just keep going. And I see some of you have questions. We're going to address all of them. Maybe I'll take a second here in just a minute and we'll answer some questions. For those of you that do have questions, feel free to type them in the question box, and we'll try to answer them as we go here. The most targeted, laser-targeted leads that you'll ever find, and again, you've heard I asked Amanda earlier about talking to them, and again, they're some of the nicest, most sincere people you'll ever meet, and in most cases, they become lifelong friends. And that's what's really cool about all of this. So, Patrice asks, how does it work when you have nothing to sell? The answer, quite frank, and I'm going to be a little blunt with you, Patrice, and forgive me, but the answer is it doesn't. You have to have something to sell. It could be anything. There's a number of things that you could sell. It's getting the education first, which in most cases is very cheap. It doesn't take you long to learn it. There's a little bit of a learning curve. You know, you're talking, I would say, somewhere in the neighborhood of, if you've got the right training and the right mentorship and the right coaching, somewhere between 90 and 180 days to really get your hands around it and get a grasp for it and understand it. And from there, it is coming up with a product, either yourself or someone else's. Find something that you're passionate about. Find something that you can find an industry that you're super passionate about. And how I always find people's passions, I ask them a very, very, very simple question. I'll say something like, Patrice, let me ask you a question. If you had all the money in the world and nothing but free time, you didn't have to worry about where the money was going to come from, you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt it was going to be there month in and month out, what are the first 3 things that come to your mind that you would do with your newfound free time? And you want to be able to sell a product at some point in that market. Maybe it's the top 5 things. I don't know. Top 3 or top 5, because I'd say I better rephrase that and say top 5, because typically the first 2 are, I would spend more time with my friends and family, and I would travel. You can't really sell them. I mean, you can sell travel products, but I'll tell you, I've been in that world, and it is expensive to get profitable. So unless you've got 50 grand laying around, which we did, and we lost all of it, I would steer clear of that. Steer clear of that industry. Again, speaking from personal experience. Let's take a second here and answer a couple more. Francis asked, do I need to subscribe to AWeber? Which company is better? GetResponse, AWeber, Constant Contact. Any of the above. We always recommend AWeber just because we can share our campaigns with a campaign code. And I just pop that code into your account, and I press the button, and it preloads all the messages. So we don't have to, with GetResponse and some of the others, they don't have that feature. So a lot of times you have to manually copy and paste all of the emails. Something that will take you, it might only take you an hour, half an hour. But again, to me, my time is better spent elsewhere. Something that I could do in 3 minutes versus an hour. I'm going to take the path of least resistance and do the 3 minutes. I would come see you guys, number 1. Thanks, Ty. We appreciate you, man. I'm glad you're here, brother. Yeah. Okay. So cool. That's a few of them. What if you don't have money to invest? Plus, know nothing about computers, let alone websites. Mary Lou, again, I'm going to be very transparent and very blunt with you, and very, very open and very honest. So don't take it personally. And again, Mary Lou's question is, what if you don't have money to invest and you don't know anything about computers, let alone websites, etc.? There's going to be a learning curve for you. Anything that's new, you've got to take the time to learn it, because otherwise you're going to get ripped off. You're going to get scammed, and you're going to get taken advantage of. That's just the reality. So you've got to take the time to learn it. If you don't have money to invest, stay on Amanda and I's list, and we're going to start this weekly webinar series. We're going to be doing this stuff every week, and it'll be new stuff every week, and what's current and what's up to date and what's working for us in our business. Plug into these. And what I would say to you is, if you don't have money to invest, first of all, get yourself a job, get yourself in a better financial situation, and then when the time is right, just stay plugged in and stay connected to Amanda and myself. Follow our trainings, follow everything that we're doing, and learn. That way, when you do have the money and you are in a better financial situation to invest a little bit of money, and I'm not talking a lot, less than $1,000 in most cases to get yourself started. We're not talking an arm and a leg here. So be smart. Start setting aside money every month and say, okay, this is, my whole rule. I've refused to work with people before because I knew at heart it was going to put them in a much worse financial situation than they currently were. The last thing that I want you to do is to start a business and then not have any money to go get traffic. You know, that thing we talked about back up here. Most people get stuck on the left side because it takes money to get traffic and leads, right? So get yourself in a better financial situation. Stay plugged into us. And what I would tell you is find someone that you can connect with, you know, whether it's Amanda or myself or someone else. And then what I would personally do, I would remove myself from any other email lists, from any other marketers, any other mentors, because all it does is it becomes a distraction, and you end up getting lost in the sea of information. And it leads to confusion, frustration, and in most cases you're just gonna be totally lost. So I would find someone that you could connect with and then just follow them while you get your financial situation in order. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. Let's see here. Thank you, Too Small Children. If you build a website, is it better to create e-commerce to create income? That's a great question. So the question was, if you build a website, is it better to create e-commerce to create income? I'm going to be very blunt with this again. My answer to that would be no, because you're talking in most cases about very small transactions, you know, like eBay. Perfect example of an e-commerce website. You've got to be doing massive volume. You've got to be doing thousands of transactions a day. Amazon.com is another perfect example for that. And Amazon.com, by the way, they just posted their quarterly income statement. They posted a $117 million loss. $117 million loss. That's a perfect example right there of an e-commerce site. You've got to have thousands and thousands of transactions that are happening every single day. My opinion, there's just not enough profit margin there to make that worth your while. Let's cruise through this because we're already at 7 o'clock, an hour into it. Which vehicle did we choose? Elite Marketing Pro. Why? And this will kind of hopefully answer your e-commerce question too there, Francis. The number one way to create fast cash that we've found is by selling information-based products. And not just any information-based product, information-based products that people love, so they devour your content and training and continue to be part of your membership site month in and month out, year after year. So what this does is it creates security for you and your family, right? We built up that $5 grand over the last 45 days. Well, now guess what? Amanda and I are going to be able to count on that every single month, because every single month people are going to get rebilled, right? So as we continue to grow our business, we continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And for me personally, it's the first time in my 5-year career full-time in this industry that I found something that is 100% profitable on the front end. Now, what I mean by that is typically you're going to spend $100 to generate a $50 buyer, a $50 per month buyer, right? And for me to communicate that to you, you're going, wow, I'm spending $100 to make $50. That doesn't make any sense. Well, think as a business person for a minute, right? Remember, they're getting rebuilt every month, right? So in 30 days, you're going to get another $50. You're at 100. Now you've broke even. 60 days, you're going to get another $50. Now you've made a profit, right? You've made a profit. But it's extremely difficult in today's we want it now society to communicate that to someone. So then what ends up happening is they usually end up quitting before they ever get profitable. And it's been, I don't want to say frustrating, because, you know, we've made it work, but it's had its ups and downs, and it takes true leadership to really understand the numbers. And that's, I think, what you'll learn about me the most is Amanda's kind of the face. She's kind of the front end. She's kind of the nurturing, caring, hey, let's make this work. Hey, how can we help you? Hey, how can we serve you? And I'm very much that same way, but I'm also very logical. I'm very by the numbers. And when you show me a system or you show me a product that I can sell and I can break even or make a profit right up front, I'm ecstatic over that, because I know that as I build that business and as people continue to get rebuilt every single month, and I'm building relationships, and Amanda's out building relationships, and she's connecting with people, and we're gonna bring those people in. We're gonna make them our friends. We're gonna make them a part of our family, and we're gonna build a business together. I know that we've got lifelong friends and lifelong customers. That's what you want. That's what you want. And that, to me, when I saw the numbers, and I just showed you our numbers, 1,100 leads, $5,000 in commissions, at, making roughly $2 a lead profit, I'm going, oh my gosh, we got to get going on this, and we got to put more time, effort, and energy into it. Again, information-based products and systems have very low overhead. You don't have to deal with inventory. You don't have to deal with shipping and receiving and logistics. It's got a high profit margin, which, going back to that e-commerce question, there's just selling retail type products. There's not a lot of profit margin, which your profit margin is your advertising budget. If I know that I'm going to make $50 a sale, that means I can spend up to $50 to generate that sale, maybe more. It depends what you're going to make. Right? Am I making sense? Raise your hand if I'm making sense. Or type in the question box, yes. Whichever is easier for you. Type yes in the question box or raise your hand. Let me know that I'm making sense and I'm not just blowing smoke up here, you know what. The other thing about info products, you don't have a management team or employees. For those of you, if you've owned a traditional business, employees are the absolute worst headache in all. I personally had 7 employees at one time, and it's a full freaking time job just trying to manage employees, making sure they're doing their stuff, and not to mention the risk that's associated with it. The number one cause, or the number one thing about employees is theft. Theft is huge when you have employees. They're always either, whether it's stealing your cash or stealing your business secrets. I mean, it's just crazy. We had 7 employees at one point, and I was ecstatic to just get rid of all of them because I was tired of managing them. Best of all, there's no risk. And this is why I'm a huge fan of Ty. I'm a huge fan of selling other people's stuff. That no risk part. If I were to start my own business, I've got to have bank accounts, I've got to have merchant accounts, merchant fees, I've got 100% of the risk on me at that point. I love to take risks. I mean, as an entrepreneur, you have to take risks, but there is such a thing called calculated risks. And for me, I've always just been a huge fan of selling other people's stuff because I can leverage what they already have in place. And the other reason we chose Elite Marketing Pro, we believe in the owner, Tim Irway. Elite Marketing Pro has a proven track record. They've had verifiable $25 million in sales. So they're a rock-solid, reputable company that truly helps people learn how to really grow an online business from ground zero. And again, that's why we wanted to follow everything that they taught. We wanted to implement some of the stuff that we already learned, but we wanted to grow this from ground zero. And that's the beauty of this system. And it teaches you this in a step-by-step, hold you by the hand sort of fashion. And this is key. This is key. Now, I've worked with a lot of people. I've spoken in front of who knows how many thousands of people. And the one common denominator I get from them is they love to have a step-by-step system. They love to have something outlined, right? That's what Elite Marketing Pro does for you. And because of their License Right program, the numbers are instantly in your favor. Now, Elite Marketing Pro has a License Right program, and what that is basically you're buying the license to be able to sell the products as your own. So now it's like I'm selling the products for myself, and on top of that, I don't have the risk. I don't have the management team. I don't have the employees to manage. I have no inventory. 100% of the risk is on Tim and Elite Marketing Pro to make sure that they do good business. And I can just go do what I do. I can go market, and I can leverage everything that they've done, everything that they have, and I can build my business around it. They have the bank accounts. They have the merchant accounts and the credit card processing. I can leverage all of that, and that's the beauty of it, and that's what I love about this program. So what's inside Elite Marketing Pro? Well, everything that we've been talking about all evening here is inside of Elite Marketing Pro. I mean, literally the entire formula for exactly how you can swipe in and attract the cream of the crop for your business as systematically as it gets. And to me, there's nothing more powerful than this when it comes to starting an online business. I don't know how you feel, Amanda. You've gone through some of the training. I mean, you know, what got you excited about this besides me? You know, of course, I got excited about the money. But then I saw the real value of what they actually offer, and we've now got some people on our team starting to get results and starting to experience good things. What got you excited about this? Just purely from a content system perspective.
Sure, I think it's just something that that you can stand behind. You know, you can feel good about. Selling it to people, promoting it to people, but knowing that you're putting people into something that they can get results with. You know, if you're willing to work and if you're willing to put in the time and effort that it takes, that I know that people can see results from it. And I think that's really what it goes back to, is the training and what's in the back office, is that I know that I'm giving people something that they can see success with if they're willing to put in the time and effort. You know, and if you're willing to put in the time and effort, I'm willing to put in the time and effort to you to make things work. And, you know, I've also been, not as long as Eric have I been in the industry, but I've been involved in a couple of different systems, and, you know, I bought many different products, and I bought leads, and I've done all those things too. You know, and it kind of wore on me, and Elite Marketing Pro kind of got both of us excited, but kind of got me excited again, and it's been a lot of fun talking with people and kind of getting back into things and just being excited about what I'm doing and the people that I'm talking to, and really what we can do together and what the system offers. Because, you know, I'm learning stuff too on a daily basis. There's always things here and there that I'm learning, and I've enjoyed going through the trainings and that sort of thing. So, I guess I
so you're saying that the reality is that anyone can do this. I mean, literally anyone can do it if they put their mind to it.
Anyone can do this if you put your mind to it. And I'm sure there's people out there that you're snickering or like, yeah, right, well, I don't know anything, or I don't have any experience, or I don't have any money, or whatever. There's something out there for everyone. Eric talked about, you know, the two different traffic sources between paid advertising and free advertising. And of course, you know, if you don't have any money, then you can't do the paid advertising. But there's free advertising methods. And actually, Ronnie, I know you're on with us tonight.
Yeah, buddy.
Ronnie shot us his first YouTube video, which we talked about it, and he decided, you know, he wanted to focus on YouTube, and he sent us his first video, and it was awesome. Like, it, you know, I think sometimes you don't give yourself enough credit, and he put his mind to it, and he said he was going to shoot his first video, which he thought it wasn't very good at all, but he sent it to us, and Eric and I are both like, this is awesome. Like, for someone to shoot their first video, and whether it is good or not, like, it doesn't matter, the fact that he did it, but then the fact that it was really awesome was even better. So Ronnie, that's a shout out to you. So I'm looking forward to seeing your second video. But my point is just that if you put your mind to it, you can do whatever you want to do. Not saying it's going to happen tomorrow or in a week, you're going to, you know, make $10,000 or whatever. But if you're willing to commit to something, like I said, we're willing to commit to you. And your learning curve might be 30, 60, 90 days. But if you're willing to commit to it, you will see something that comes out of it.
Exactly. Hopefully, and if Ronnie and Ty, if you guys will stick around, maybe we'll, if we have time, pending questions, we'll pull you guys on for just a brief minute, and just if you want to, no pressure, but love to have you guys just say a couple words. So inside Elite Marketing Pro, the training videos, they walk you through the entire process of creating an irresistible lead magnet, so prospects will not be able to refuse you. It's what I like to refer to as, or maybe some of you have heard it before, but it's creating an irresistible offer that makes it very difficult for people to say no. Not because they don't want to say no, but they just can't. Designing a back-end sales process, and in fact, you can even copy ours that we use to automatically sell all of these prospects before we ever even pick up the phone to call them. And again, you heard Amanda and I talking about it earlier. We don't even talk to the leads on the phone anymore. Now, I'm not going to recommend that to you. I'm going to recommend to you getting started. You want to talk to as many people as you possibly can on the phone, because that's what will make you money. On top of all of that, Amanda and I are going to give you all of our personal and private resources for how we generate our personal leads. That way you can plug and play and do the same. That's going to include ad vendors, traffic sources, our Rolodex of profit-producing emails that you can send, and we've got a whole lot more that you'll get access to. And again, that's all of our personal and private resources for how we essentially grow our business. We have no problem handing that to you and telling you everything that we're doing. Again, we want to see you be successful. Not to mention, on top of that, we'll teach you every one of the major lead generating strategies behind targeting these exact highly targeted, highly interested prospects. Now, it's purely invaluable because your return on investment for that, I mean, we could charge, again, I charge as much as 20 grand just to hire me as a consultant, and we've got people that pay it, and it's by bank wire only. So that knowledge, the ROI on that, you really can't beat it, because then you can run and gun and do whatever you want to do and do whatever your heart desires and create a better life for yourself and your family. So the Elite Marketing Pro, what is included with them? You really only, and I forgot to edit this slide, there's really only two choices. You've got the Elite Marketing Pro Annual Plan, which you see in the second column. And here, I'll just grab this right here. You've got this plan, the Elite Marketing Pro Annual Plan, and we're going to talk about the Elite Marketing Pro VIP Plan, this column over here. So inside the Elite Marketing Pro Annual Plan, you get access to the Traffic Generation Suite. You get access to the What's Working Now Marketing Vault. Essentially what this is it's a monthly publication, and it's titled What's Working Now for a reason. Once a month, you'll get access to new training with what is working now in the technology aspect. Now, if you don't know technology, don't freak out. That's what we're here for. You get access to the private mastermind group on Facebook. You get access to the Elite Traffic Training Arsenal, which again, this is where most people get hung up. And I'm going to grab my pen here so I can actually draw a little better. This is where most people get hung up, is on the traffic side. The good news is they have this broken down for you inside into beginner, and it goes step by step. Beginner, and I'm just going to abbreviate these, intermediate, advanced, and then expert. They're broken down. Each one of those is broken down even further on different step-by-step things you can do to get traffic. It's awesome. Not to mention, Amanda and I will be your mentors. I'm more the traffic guy, and me personally, I'll be able to help coach you on your traffic, on how to get traffic. So you'll be able to work with us personally and directly. The Elite Marketing Pro exclusive monthly training, you also get access to that. They do a once-a-month overview of live training, kind of like this on a webinar on what's working now. A huge advantage to helping you, again, expand your mindset and expand your business. And then the Elite Marketing Pro VIP plan. And it's everything that comes in the annual plan. On top of that, you get the automated list building autoresponder integration. We take care of that for you. So again, if you don't know the technology side, don't worry about it, because partnering with Amanda and myself, we do all of this for you to make sure that you're properly integrated. We even give you our personal autoresponder messages. We will preload them for you in the autoresponder of your choice. Your name in the lights, instant credibility with product co-branding. So again, because you're buying, this is the license right program, the VIP. It's the same as the license rights. So your name will actually appear. They'll give you co-branding ability right inside all of their products. A pretty cool thing. You get 200 website visitors to your site paid for by Elite Marketing Pro. They're going to send those visitors to your site automatically. Again, going up here to this traffic piece where most 99% of all marketers that are especially new, this is where they get hung up. But they're going to send you at least 200 every single month right here if you become a VIP. You also get access to the Leaders Library. Now this is huge, okay? 24/7 access to every single Magnetic sponsoring product. Now, if you were to, I've never totaled this up, but if you were to buy all of the products that are offered inside this, it's got to be tens of thousands of dollars. All of the individual products, you know, there's stuff in there like the good training that I can think of. A good friend of mine, Mark, created it called the Info Marketing Blueprint. That's in there. There is, I'm trying to think what else is back there. The YouTube traffic code. There's YouTube traffic code. There's Facebook traffic code that's in there. There's all of these different trainings, all of these different separate products that are made available to you. Again, it's a huge suite, so you don't get stuck and caught in that endless trap of buying product after product, training after training. Literally, the entire Rolodex is right here, right in front of you, right in your face. So you don't ever I promise you, you will never, ever, ever, ever have to go buy another product that's related to learning how to market online if you buy the VIP, if you become an Elite Marketing Pro VIP and buy the VIP package. Why? Because every product that they ever create, you'll have access to it for free. For free, right? Follow me? So this is a pretty good deal. Again, this also, the VIP package, it puts the numbers in your favor because the only expense, so it's going to be ABC product. Actually, let me just go to the next slide because the money is actually explained on the next slide very briefly. So you'll earn $42. Is it $42? I thought it was a little, I thought it was $47.
No, it's
$42.50 or $60 or something. So again, I'm looking at the Elite Marketing Pro VIP package. You're getting 100% commission as well. So here's how this works. Except for these first three products, these are about what 90-ish% with the exception of this right here. So here's how it works. On a $47 sale, you're going to make 42 bucks. So essentially what is happening is the company is taking out, again, because they have merchant fees, right? Merchants are credit card processors, right? They have to pay a company to be able to accept credit cards, right? And there is a fee that is associated with that. So essentially all Elite Marketing Pro is doing, they're charging $47, they're paying you 42 of it, and then the rest is more or less going to these fees. They have to. They got to have so much in reserves. They've got to have, I'm sure they have a rolling reserve like most companies, meaning that, you know, typically it's around 10%. So on $47, that 10% right there is $4.70. So they're taking out $5 and paying you 42. The same with the 267. What is that? 297, right? This is a $297 purchase. They're paying you $267 of that. Again, that same like 10% rule because they have to cover, they have to CYA, right? Cover your ass. They have to cover their rear ends as well so that they're taken care of with the bank. That's really it. So essentially, and you'd have those same costs if you were to go start the business yourself. and set this entire thing up yourself, and you'd, as a business owner, if you owned all of it, the system, you had the bank accounts, you'd make about $42 as well yourself. So this is a really cool thing. It really puts the numbers in your favor. Now, any of the other products that you sell, you heard me talk about a while ago, the other products, the product suite, magnetic sponsoring, building on a budget, black belt recruiting, the Copywriters Guild, what's working now, the ultimate sales funnel, ProBlog Academy. Again, as a VIP member, you get access to all of it. You get all of these products right there, and there's a whole lot more than just this that's available to you. But anything that you sell, any of the other products that you sell, you get 100% commission. You cannot beat that. The numbers are in your favor, so it becomes worth it. Great question. Where is the company making money? The only exception to this rule is right here as a VIP. It's a $1,700 purchase. You make a $1,200 commission. So the company is making money right there. This is where the company makes a little money there, and then the company is making money on these two right here. So as an Elite Marketing Pro member, as an annual member, you're going to make $118 per sale to sell another annual. You'll make $25 per sale to sell the $47 a month. Right? It's 40 going back here, same across the top. It's $47 a month is the normal plan. You're going to make $25 per sale as an annual member. So you're getting half the commission, right? Follow me so far? So the company's making 50% over here because they're taking more of the risk. 50%. Nope, not $50. It's 50%. They're making 50% on that. So that's how the company makes money. It's pretty simple. You know, obviously the VIP, as far as putting the numbers in your favor, getting the best bang for your buck, and access to our personal resources, that's the way to go. The link is right there for those of you that are interested. globalleadershipmaximum.com/go-VIP. You can go to your browser right now. Go to your browser right now. Let's erase all of this stuff so it's a little more visible. Erase ink. And you can see it right down here. For those of you that are interested in partnering with us, globalleadershipmaximum.com/go-VIP. Now, our bonuses. This is where it gets even better. For those of you that do the annual plan, and again, this is, how much is it again? $297? I keep getting confused. So many numbers. $297. The VIP is the $297 plus $1,700. So you're at $1,997 for VIP. I can't write. $1,997. The annual plan, for those of you that buy the annual plan tonight, we're going to give you 25 free leads along with a 30-minute phone consultation and business setup. This will be a strategy session. We'll make sure that we get you set up, we get your autoresponders integrated, we get everything set up properly. That way you're ready to run and gun, and everything's ready to go. On top of that, we're going to give you unlimited Skype and email support for 30 days. And then after that 30 days, it'll just be by appointment. I mean, it's really not a big deal. We try to make ourselves available for anyone who's just getting started as much as possible because, again, we want to ensure we get you on the fast track, we get you on the right path, and get you to see some success as soon as possible. After that, it'll be by appointment. That's $297. You got to do it tonight. Tomorrow doesn't count. We're looking for fast movers, fast action takers. So for those that buy tonight, you can claim this. We'll get together during the 30-minute phone consultation. We'll set everything up, and then we'll get you your 25 free leads as possible. For the VIP, again, VIP is a total of $1,997. you have to go to this link first and actually purchase the annual plan first before you'll get to the VIP. But for those of you that go VIP, again, Global Leadership Maximum, and that's globalleadershipmaximum.com/govip. This will shoot you over to the page. And in fact, let me just see here if I can pull it up really quick. Yeah, let me just show you what comes up, just so there's absolutely no confusion here. For those of you that want to join us, Global Leadership Maximum /go VIP. So here's what's going to come up. It's going to take you straight to the order package. This is the yearly right here, so you can see right here, 100%. Once you go through and place your order, the Elite Marketing Pro Annual, $297. This is whether you purchase the annual or you purchase a VIP, you have to go this route. It's the only way. That you can't just purchase VIP. You'll then be redirected for the option to upgrade for $1,700. If for some reason you are not, just shoot me an email and let me know, and I'll get you the link to get to it directly for the $1,700. So, but you first have to purchase that annual plan, and you have to claim those tonight. So the bottom line is this. There's simply no easier, more targeted strategy on planet Earth to start signing up new, hungry, eager buyers in your business starting today. And not to mention, not only am I going to walk you by the hand, Amanda is going to hold you by the hand, and we're going to show you not only how I've not only been able to become a top earner in one company, but two of them. I've been the #1 income earner in 2 different companies, and it will make you unstoppable. And it's an absolute must if your heart desires to build a monster business for the long term. You got to do it. You got to take action. And from what I know, there's no one that I've ever heard of who does this as good as Amanda and I do. I mean, we're an incredible team. I think as you get to know us and work together with us, I know a lot of you have spoken with Amanda on the phone. I've talked with a few of you as well in setting up systems and setting up traffic and whatnot. I believe in my heart you're learning from the best possible team. You're dealing with a couple that's, we're not going to rip you off, obviously. I mean, we're not here to scam you. Again, if I wanted to scam people, I would go stand on the street corner or hold a sign that said, anything helps, we'll work for food, something along those lines. And I'd collect, who knows, here in Phoenix, who knows how many hundreds of dollars a day that you could collect. And maybe I'm biased a little bit, but I know my wife will second that when I say we make a great team and we can personally help you grow your business. I mean, there's not a shadow of doubt that we can get you results and we can help you become successful. So just consider this just for a minute, and I want to take you on a little bit of a vision with me here for just a second. Imagine that you come in as a VIP and one new person pays you a commission of $47 to $1,200. Let's say that you signed up 2 of them and you got 2 $1,200 commissions. Let's say you do that 3 months from now, 4 months from now, 5 months from now, even if it's 6 months from now, as a result of what you will learn from the training inside Elite Marketing Pro and the training that you'll get from Amanda and myself as your mentors and coaches, you'll be in profit. Now, consider that each new person you sign up, they have a lifetime value. In other words, they're not going to buy from you once. They're not going to buy from you just 1 month. They might buy from you for 2 months or 3 months or 6 months, or maybe they buy from you month after month for 12 straight months. That's extraordinary, and it's extremely powerful in the online marketing industry. So what is the real value of that one affiliate? What is the real value of that one prospect? What is the real value of that one new buyer, right? It's kind of unknown. And I don't know what it is personally with Elite Marketing Pro yet. But what I can tell you is I'm sure that the value in that's going to be extremely high. I can tell you what they are in from past experiences. It's anywhere from $500 to $700 for us personally. That's huge. That's huge. So factor in that Amanda and I are going to show you how to build a sustainable long-term online business on a consistent monthly basis. And you can easily see this might be one of the best investments you've possibly ever made. And I'm hardly kidding, because it's real. It's real. It's honest. It's heartfelt. You know, again, we're not here to sell you anything. I don't need to convince you of it, because guess what? If it's not for you, I understand that. Not everybody's cut out for this, and we're okay with that. But if it is for you and you want to lock arms and you want a partner, hey, let's make it happen. So if you want to skip the bull crap that is how most people know how to build a biz, and you want to go straight to flat out getting the most targeted leads possible and signing them up consistently in droves, because we tell you exactly how to solve their pain, problem, or issue and answer all of their questions. Plus, I don't know, maybe you have the desire to speak from stage. Maybe you have the desire to become a widely known rock star because everyone sees you everywhere. Well, you just have to take action. That's it. There is no tomorrow when it comes to success. If you think the stars and the universe are going to align properly, and if you think God is going to peel back the clouds and he's going to reach out and smack you in the back of the head and say, this is it, this is now, you're going to be waiting for an extremely long time. You know, there's only the action you take today. Putting it off till tomorrow, you may as well just not do it at all, because tomorrow you'll come up with another reason, which at the end of the day is not a reason, it's an excuse to not take action right here, right now, right at this exact moment in time. And I believe the opportunity staring you in the face is a tremendous one, because this is it. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. And if you can learn just a few things from us and you can go make money with it, that's all we want. We certainly don't, I mean, we don't need the money. We've got plenty of it coming from other areas of our life. But we certainly do value and appreciate the time and the opportunity to work with you, and that you've graciously given us by showing up here tonight. And we appreciate that. So I would advise you to make a decision, take action, go visit globalleadershipmaximum.com/govip and make that choice and decision that's right for you. Get that package that's right for you, and let's lock arms. Let's partner together, and let's make it happen. You know, I look forward to that day. I mean, Amanda, is there anything you want to add to that? Because I know you've kind of been quiet tonight, and I've kind of stole the show here.
So Eric joked at the beginning that I like to talk. He likes to talk too, I think. No, I think you hit everything on the head, and I mean, I don't think I could have said a lot of it better myself. You know, and I think the biggest point that Eric made is, you know, we have some things fit some people. If this doesn't fit you, that's okay. You know, everyone is looking for something different. And like Eric said, his little drawing that he did so nicely, we're not trying to convince anyone of everything. We're just sharing what we have, and I'm telling you that this is the best thing that I've seen in a long time, and I'm standing behind it. I'm not saying you have to stand behind it, but if you feel like it's the best thing for you right now, then that's great. And like Eric said, let's lock arms and and let's get rolling. But we're not sitting here trying to convince anyone of anything. But if you have enjoyed even just talking with us tonight, and I mean, I'm a little biased, but like Eric said too, I think we're a great team, and it's fun kind of partnering up as husband and wife. But it's even funner for us to interact with people and to help other people see success, and to experience some of the things. Eric's been in the industry a little bit longer than I have, and he's seen more success than I have, but it's fun to help other people realize that. I think I'm more excited to experience that with my now husband and kind of seeing where we're going with our family and that sort of thing. So, you know, if you want to partner up with us, that's great. If you want to stay on our email list, and right now this is the thing for you, and Eric talked to you before about staying connected and, you know, learning from the things that we teach. If we send training videos or we send things, just taking it all in and learning. If it's not right for you at this time, maybe it's going to be right for you in 3 months or 6 months or that sort of thing. So just stay connected and, you know, connect via email or Facebook or Paul, I know you sent a message out there, so I'll make sure to connect with you on Facebook. I think I must have missed that, or your friend request. So connect with us on Facebook, add us as a friend, and just stay connected.
Absolutely. Is there anybody, let's see here, we got Ronnie and or Ty. If you're open to it, I'll unmute you. I just want to bring you on. Just raise your hand for me. Or type in the question box, one or the other, just so I know that you're willing to come online. If you're not, it's totally okay. You don't have to. I don't want to put you on the spot or any kind of pressure. Hey, Ronnie's here, man. Ronnie, can you hear me, man? All right, I gotta. You sound like you're really far from the mic.
Anyway, we gotta do better than that.
How about now? Did you get?
There, now I got you. How are you, man?
I'm doing good.
Hey, good. So, you know what? First of all, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. You know, just really quick, what's got you excited about Elite Marketing Pro? I'm asking kind of a loaded question. What's got you excited about Elite Marketing Pro, and what's got you excited about working with Amanda and myself?
Well, I've tried several things in the past, and I don't know, they were good. I was good in getting to work for me, and when I ran across this, I found something. I think they had a good system, good training, good support, and you know, a good track record. And that's what I was looking for. I felt like something I could trust. It wasn't a scam, and to be honest with you, it did help when Amanda contacted me, because you know, you have to talk to somebody, and you know, you got some help out there if you need it. So it was great talking also to you, Jared.
Awesome, man. You know, I was trying to look up your YouTube video really quick to see how many views you're up to now, but I just want to say I'm very proud of you, man. You took action. You followed everything that Amanda and I talked to you about with the YouTube stuff, and I was excited when I went to YouTube and I typed in a search, and you followed all of the training, and I saw that your video was ranked like number 2 or number 3 for the particular keywords that you were targeting, and I was blown away, because most people, they never make it that far. They just they either get scared, or they panic, or they make up a reason why they can't do it. And you know, congratulations to you for taking action and getting your YouTube video ranked. And I'm looking forward to you making more of those videos and getting them ranked, you know, naturally. And that's the cool part, is if you follow that method that we taught you, and you keep doing that over and over again, you know, you won't even have to worry about, you know, it'll rank by itself just because you put it out there. So, you know, I'm super proud of you, and thanks for being here and hanging out with us tonight.
Right, thanks. Appreciate the opportunity being here.
Absolutely. Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you soon, man, for sure.
All right, thank you.
Let's see here. Ty said he'll come on. Ty, can you hear me, man?
Yeah, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, got you loud and clear, man. So I'll ask you the same question I just asked Ronnie. You know, what's got you excited about Elite Marketing Pro, and got you excited about working with Amanda and myself?
Well, the first thing is that I'd like to say is that anybody that's looking to make money online, you want to get with somebody that's had experience and has some success, because you need a mentor. Yes, you've got great support at the company level with Elite Marketing Pro, but you also need somebody on the inside that's done it. And that's why you know, I sought you guys out, and it was on one of your email lists, and you answered your emails, and you were responsive, and you knew what you were doing because you've been doing it for a few years, and so I just want to, you know, lift both of you guys up because you guys are good leaders, and if you don't have that experience and you're on the phone and you want a vehicle and somebody to work with, I don't see anything better right now. I mean, first off, because you guys are so responsive and y'all do have the success, and then with Elite Marketing Pro, you've got a proven system and company that's been around, that's met, like you said, $25 million in revenue. I mean, they're not going away. So you're not going to be ashamed to get somebody involved in that company because they're going to have the support. They've worked all those kinks out. So those are two big things. One, you got to have you need a good mentor, and I think you guys are great. And y'all got the time. And for somebody like me that's got a full-time career outside the internet online world, and I've got 4 kids at home and a wife, and you need a little help. And so you want to partner with somebody that's good and somebody that's going to do these webinars like this and help your team and your prospects and being able to something that you can plug them into. And like I said, I can't say enough good things about you guys. And obviously, Elite Marketing Pro's got all the stuff that you never need to learn what you need to know.
That's
What are you
true.
laughing at?
No, that's true. They've got so much stuff there that it's literally everything that you'll ever need to know about internet marketing in a box. And you know, that's I think what, you know, and I laugh because we joke all the time about people getting stuck in that trap of buying product after product after product, training after training after training after training, when Elite Marketing Pros kind of lumped it all together and said, hey, if you buy our license rights program, we'll give you access not only to every product we've already created, but every product we will ever create. And that's a really cool thing wrapped up in a box. So you know, I'm pumped about that, and I'm excited for you because I know, you know, you're a successful guy by nature already, and you know we're already working on all sorts of different stuff together, and you know we've become friends, and I look forward to, you know, honestly a lifelong friendship with you and doing some great big things together over the next, you know, 40 years, 50 years, or whenever we decide to retire because we've made enough money.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be fun, and that goes for anybody on this call. It's so important to get with the right mentors and coaches because you can save yourself a lot of headache by doing that. And so, anyway, I thank both of you guys, Amanda, you especially, and of course you too, Eric, and I look forward to it.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate you, brother, and I'm glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We've gone forever, so we'll I'll chat with you either later tonight or tomorrow for sure.
All right, sounds good, guys.
All right, thanks, brother.
Good,
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, you know, I always like to bring people on just again so that you guys know you're working with real people. You're working with people that are going to be there for you. You know, Ty was sending me some messages earlier on in the question box and saying, hey, you know I call you 8 times a day or text you 8 times a day, and you know we kind of joke about it sometimes, but you know it's really just about making yourself available as much as you can. Now it doesn't always happen. We don't always get right back to you, but we will get back to you. I mean, that's the thing, and you know I love working with guys like Ty. You know, for those of you who don't know Ty, I mean, he's a super successful guy already. He's multi-6-figure income guy now. Got multiple ventures already going. And, you know, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is, and Ty and I had this conversation, is people don't buy companies. They don't join opportunities. They don't join a company for the compensation plan. At the end of the day, they join it because of you. And You know, you know, if Amanda and I, if our style, our personalities are a fit, awesome. Let's partner together. Let's make it happen. If they're not, that's okay. Just let us know that. Be upfront with us and say, hey, you know, you guys aren't really for me. You know, I didn't like this or that. And maybe we can connect you to someone who can. And, you know, I'll gladly connect you to someone that, you know, we could have a 5-minute conversation, a 5-minute phone conversation, and just give me a little bit of your story, and I'll gladly connect you with someone that would fit what you're looking for. I've been in this industry long enough that I know quite a few people, you know, across the internet marketing world that I'd be more than happy to at least point you in the right direction and say, hey, contact this person or contact that person or what have you. But bottom line is, right now you have a choice. You have a decision to make. Is it for you? Are we for you? I mean, let's look at best case, worst case scenario. Let's start with the worst case scenario. I always like to start with the bad news first. Worst case scenario, you invest a couple $1,000 into your business. Let's say you put another $1,000 into it in terms of marketing and advertising. So you put a few $1,000 in it, and you know, and again, we're not talking an arm and a leg here. We're talking a few $1,000s, right? To get your business really ramped up, to get it started, to get the wheels churning, right? It's less than the price of a cheap used car at the end of the day. You know, so here's where I'm going with you. If your car broke down tomorrow and it was junk, it was trash, you didn't want to pay to get it fixed, and you had to come up with the money to buy a car to get your butt to work the next day, would you be able to come up with $3,000? I guarantee you'd come up with it in a second. You'd figure out how to come up with it. And so for less than the price of a cheap used car, you can get started in a business, have lead flow right out of the gate, and on top of that, unlike that cheap used car that's going to depreciate in value month in and month out, year after year, it's going to continue to decline in value. You're going to invest in a business that is an asset for yourself that can appreciate with time, make you more money, give you a better quality of life, give you better financial stability, make your family life better, make your sex life better, make everything around you better. It's going to enable you to travel. It's going to enable you to do what you want to do when you want to do it, not when some boss dictates when you're allowed to go on vacation or when you're going to get paid or how much you're going to get paid. It's all on you. So for less than a price of that cheap used car, you can have something that is of tremendous value to you. So worst case scenario, you invest a few $1,000, hey, it didn't work out. You're no worse off than you are right now. Best case scenario, the new car you've had your eyeball on, the new house you've had your eyeball on. Maybe it's none of those things. Maybe it's just being the quality of life. Maybe it's just being able to spend more time with your family, your loved one, your kids, your spouse, your girlfriend, what have you. Maybe it's just the time thing. Because for a lot of people, I mean, that was for me. It was just the time freedom aspect to do what I want to do and live my life the way that I want to live it. That's something that you'll never get back. And having to go to a job every day, having to go to what I would call a ball and I mean, I hated having a job. Maybe it's because I had a problem with authority and just didn't like being told what to do all the time. So I got into sales in the first place because at least I could do my own thing, and if I hit my quota, I didn't have anybody breathing down my back about it. But the reality is, if you make a choice and you make a decision, you're not just throwing money at something. You're investing in yourself, and you're investing in your future, and you're investing in your well-being. That's what I want you to understand. So best case scenario, anything and everything that you've ever wanted and that you could ever dream of, let's make that happen. Let's make it happen together. You know, it's not like you go down to Walmart and you buy a product and you take it home and you can't figure out how to use it and you don't have anyone to help you figure out how to use it, so you just take it back. You throw it back on the shelf. Or maybe you just throw it away because it's not worth the trip back to Walmart to try to return it, right? It's not like that. This is a team. This is, let's make it happen together, not by yourself, not alone, not on your own. You've got all the help, all of the support, everything that you need from a corporate standpoint and from a leadership and mentorship standpoint. And Amanda and I will be here for you. We're here to more or less hold you by the hand to an extent. I say that very loosely because if you're a whiner and a complainer or a bitcher and a moaner, I mean, we're just not going to answer the phone. We're going to send you straight to voicemail every single time. We just don't deal with people like that because you know they're just a waste of time. Become an energy sucker. Call them energy suckers, where they just suck up all your time and your energy, and nothing got accomplished. But for those of you that it's a you lay a brick, we lay a brick type of relationship, and if you're willing to work hard, you're willing to commit, you're willing to make some sacrifices because it's going to require a sacrifice. Now, the thing about that is it's only temporary, right? You can't start a business, go to work 8, 9, 10 hours a day, and then come home and work maybe an hour or two. It just doesn't happen that way unless you've got money set aside to invest. You know, Ty is a perfect example of that. Ty is a business guy. Ty understands business. Ty understands leverage. Ty is extremely successful already. That's one in 10,000 that you'll ever meet that are like that. Very rarely. But that temporary sacrifice that you're going to have to make, you're going to have to take time away from family. It might be an hour a night. It might be 2 hours a night. I don't know what your learning capacity and what your learning curve is going to be. It's going to be a sacrifice, though. I can promise you that. And it's not about how much time you do or don't have. It's being consistent with that time. I don't care if it's 10 minutes a day. I don't care if it's 5 hours a day. If it's 10 minutes a day, give it your all for that 10 minutes. Now, everybody's got 10 minutes. Turn the damn TV off. That's a whole nother can of worms, and we'll save that for a whole nother webinar because the average person watches 20-some hours of TV a week. Turn your TV off, and instead of spending 20 hours a week watching TV, learn something and apply it to your business. Right? Hopefully I'm making sense. I'm kind of going off in a different direction on a tangent here. But make the commitment, make the sacrifice, and let's make it happen. Let's partner up. Let's lock arms. Let's go to town. Let's become friends. Let's get together and, you know, let's build you a profitable business. So there's the link at the bottom of the screen right there, globalleadershipmaximum.com/GoVIP. And that is all lowercase too, by the way. I just put some capital letters in there to make it easier to read so it wasn't all confusing. globalleadershipmaximum.com/GoVIP. So awesome. I'm going to wrap it up right there. I appreciate all of you guys. I did not plan on being on here for 2 hours tonight. That was not my intention, I don't think, at all from the beginning of this. But I think it flows together, and it went together well. Most of you are still on here, so if there's any questions, I mean, we'll take maybe the last minute or two here to answer any questions. But outside that, I want to say that I very much appreciate you guys from myself and from Amanda. We appreciate you guys for being on here the whole time, for hanging out with us, for giving us 2 hours of your life and your time that you'll never get back. Hopefully you learned something, you got some sort of value out of it, you got some sort of maybe a benefit out of it, and you know, we made you a better, smarter person, a better, smarter entrepreneur. We're both very humbled and very honored. You know, and I can say humbled because we both came from a place of no money. You know, I came from a place of 60 grand in credit card debt, paid it all off in 11 months once my business took off and I finally put the pieces together. I spent well over $100,000 trying to figure out the internet marketing game. And, you know, when I figured it out, I can laugh about it now because I made it. And I got rid of all my debt in 11 months. You know, I can't complain about that. So it's a good feeling. And I'm just, I'm truly humbled. You know, I'm honored. It's a pleasure to hang out with you guys. Obviously, Amanda and I, we put a lot into this. It's an incredible partnership. We're an incredible team, and we look forward to partnering up with you guys. So you want to add anything to that? I know that's a mouthful. I'm getting tired.
I don't think I have anything to add. Just thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Ronnie, I saw that you put in one more comment that you said time well spent, and then I laughed when you said, because it's so true, you said not spent, invested. And I think that's a really great closing comment is, you know, people see something like this and they think that they're spending money, you know, and you're basically, when I see spending money as you're spending it for, you're not going to get anything back out of it. You know, when you say that you're investing money, something like this, you're investing in yourself, you're investing in your future, you're investing in your family. So I just think that's a great point, Ronnie, and a great closing kind of comment is that this is what it's meant to be, is an investment in you and an investment in yourself. And if that's the best place for you to be right now, then we look forward to that.
Yep, absolutely. Sounds good. Well, appreciate you guys. We're going to sign off and close this puppy down. Everybody have a great night. We got to go grab some food. I'm about to starve today.
Bye, guys.
So.
Have a good night. What's left of it, wherever you are.